I'm gonna critique this property, so when you decide to buy, design, build a property yourself, you won't make the same mistakes. I'm Arvin Haddad, I'm the How to Buy a Mansion guy. Let's watch this one together.
What's been very sad to see in La Jolla is people coming into a site and tearing everything down. The true uniqueness of this home is how they took care to blend it into the landscaping and the hillside.
Did you hear what he said? Blend it with its surrounding. What this guy is really saying is that the most iconic, most important, most significant properties do exactly that. They blend with the surrounding where the lot is. Prime example of that would be Falling Water by Frank Lloyd Wright.
Welcome to La Jolla, California. I'm beyond excited for today's tour. We're checking out this amazing architectural home. Now, I'm currently on the motor court right now. We have the gates opening up to a curved driveway. And right before you arrive to the motor court,
you get a glimpse of the view. The approach teases you with the view, sets the mood, sets the anticipation. It really clears your mind. You go through freaking a tunnel to get to the motor court.
Now, I want to bring everybody to this point because we have a beautiful urban garden here.
I don't know about an urban garden. It's just the, landscaping. But the choice of landscaping is exquisite. It definitely goes with that desert climate of California. It fits right like a glove to modern architecture, right? That kind of a harshness of the plant and, with the board form concrete right behind it. Beautiful.
Now let's go to this side. This is actually a gate that moves. So on this side, I'm gonna leave it closed for now because you can access to your backyard directly from your driveway.
Now you're like, wait a minute. I thought we first go to the motor court, then we go to the house, and then we go to the backyard. But no, in this property, your backyard is positioned in your front yard. It's on the front street side of the property. And the main reason why this architect decided to take this approach is because it could give an amazing motor court and utilize this little nook section of the lot that is skewed to the left and it doesn't get the best views in the property. Now, that comes with its own downfalls that you're going to find out in the rest of the video.
Now, I'm really going to take my time to talk about the details here. This is where you get your first peek of the Pacific Ocean.
Okay, do you see what they just did? They're teasing you with the view before you even walk in. But what really caught my eye here are these 3 pipes kind of sticking out from the side of the house that kind of look like the sewer clean-out pipes, which I don't think they are, but then there's water leaking from some of them. Is it the drain for the roof? I'm not sure what it is, but it doesn't look pleasant to me.
Now, I also really like how the water reflects on this board from concrete wall. And to take it a step further, they even incorporated the steps into the water feature.
If you show up here at nighttime, you might take the wrong steps. But I want to talk about the water feature used in the entrance of the properties. In a lot of high-end properties, we see water feature used, but this really makes sense, because they've kind of created a fountain water feature that gives you that infinity edge, connects to the ocean. This is one of the best, most appropriate places where a water feature has ever been used. I really like how they incorporated this.
From the moment you step onto the property to the moment you start going through the property, that whole transition had to be very zen-like. As you walk in the front door, you have a lot of depth. As you walk through the house, you see the cork trees, you hear sounds of water.
Okay, so the wow factor kind of builds up. You come in through your private driveway, you get teased by the view, you go through that tunnel, you reset what happened to you in the real world, and you enter, you go through the steps. As you go into the property, you're gonna see like a wow factor to your left, the ocean view and the lower lot, and then a humongous backyard, which is really your front yard, to the right. So your head is just going left, right, and it just really like builds up to that point, and then boom, it just like hits you in the face, which is also extremely zen and peaceful during the whole process. Amazing.
Now, off of the foyer, we have honed limestone floors, plaster walls, warm walnut paneling.
Okay, now you're like, Arvin, the wow factor is not there. Like, they're holding it back. They are holding it back. You could tease. You could definitely tease. Because the architect decided to build this huge structure that divides the lot and where the actual house is, it's a very long house. And you're going to have corridors all throughout the property because you're gonna have a connectivity issue.
On my left-hand side, we have this architectural staircase opening that leads you to the lower level.
Like, for example, this is a tease because right now it's overexposed, but in real life, when you're looking at this, you will see the ocean between the steps, right? It's just kind of teasing you with the view, keeping you engaged.
Coming back to the entry and going to the other side, we have the formal dining room, circular table in the center.
Okay, pay attention to this room. I really don't like where this formal dining room is, but keep an eye on it. I'm going to cover later in the video.
Now, right in the center, we got this gorgeous Steinway & Sons piano dressing the room really nicely. This is technically your formal living room. Love the coffee table in the center, few chairs, couch. Then the entire room is surrounded by picture windows facing the views.
Okay, do you see what happened? This is where the infinity edge pool would have been. Instead of giving you an infinity edge pool, they gave you an infinity edge house by dividing the lot. And you can make a very strong argument that that's actually more usable. How often are you going to be in your pool to enjoy the view than how often are you going to be in the house? I really like the fact that gives you an amazing view, closer view from this side, and it gives you a wow factor from both sides. I think was a really risky choice they made, but they freaking executed it to perfection. I absolutely love it.
That's the Pacific Ocean right there. Down below us is the Oval Garden.
Like, the Oval Garden is really your backyard, but it's beautiful. You still get a backyard view and you get the ocean.
If all that wasn't enough, this living room cantilevers about 18 plus feet above the garden that's below us.
That's the infinity edge house, right? Like, technically speaking, this is the infinity edge view home.
Looking at this room from the exterior is such a beautiful architectural frame. In fact, right behind me is also the second cork tree that they built this house around.
You see, like, they didn't have to build the house around the trees. They chose to. If they positioned the house all the way in the front of the lot, they were nowhere close to this view. And you could argue, actually, these trees would have framed the view really beautifully, but they chose to rub against the trees, you know, which is cool.
And I feel like this room right here, we've seen it before on another property in Hollywood Hills, Belgate.
I should critique this property. I've actually shown this property to a client. Really cool property. Small backyard, but pretty damn good.
Now, while we are here, before we leave this room, let's cover the specs for a second. We have 5 bedrooms, 6 full, 5 half baths, 11,239 square feet of interior space, built on a 66,646 square foot lot, on the market for $34,750,000.
Now, this property never sold. It came on the market, made a lot of noise, but it did not sell. Now, in this video, you're gonna find out why it didn't sold. Was it the demographic? Was it the price? What was it?
I wanna go this way so we can check out the powder bathroom. Onyx vanity that's fabricated, mirrors nicely recessed in, wall sconces.
Okay, very soft palette. It works on powder rooms, especially the main one in the property. You should really try to go all out. The square footage is small. It's a great place to spend money. All your guests will see it. Definitely, they've tried to do that over here.
There's actually a butler's kitchen here, but first, let me bring everybody to the great room. This is definitely the heart of this property. It houses the kitchen, dining area, and the family room. On each side, we have massive sliding glass doors, seamlessly opening up this room to the outdoors. On the back, we have the backyard.
Do you see what I'm saying? This room will break your neck. You'll be moving your, like, left, right, left. Like, you will be amazed. What a heart of a house, right? You've got amazing distractions that are just, you know, pulling you like a magnet towards them. One is a flat lawn with swimming pool, and the other is just the view and the lower lot. I mean, executed perfectly.
A lot is happening in this room, but I just love how it's integrated to the outdoors, and you can simply walk outside from your great room to these views.
Look at this. I mean, what a beautiful, beautiful view. You know, it's a dynamic view. I really don't like the, you know, straight up ocean views that it's all you see is the ocean. I like that view to be framed. I would rate this view as probably an 8 because, again, it's not really panoramic and it's obstructed, but it's beautifully framed.
Then you look over here, you have this beautiful patio that curves with a walkway.
Do you see that kind of a Japanese element, that walkway, the landscaping? on this side is a little bit different than the other side. You know, on the backyard side or the front side is very kind of Americano, you know, very typical kind of a modern side.
If you look at this house from a bird's eye view, you realize that the lines of the water feature.
Okay, he's showcasing the pool, which is connects to the water feature outside. Very cool. But what I kind of want to visualize for you guys in this frame is that most architect would have taken this property and moved it much closer to the front road. And then you would have had the backyard on the back side instead of the front side, which would have kind of had a, you know, infinity edge pool. And then you had steps going down to the lower lawn.
Then in front of us, we have the family room, L-shaped couch, coffee table, 2 chairs. Even these chairs are so elegant with stainless steel legs. Then you come over to this side. This is a 130-inch TV wall.
Okay, I love the TV. I think it's one of those panels that you connect and you can make the TV as big as you want. But I love the fact that it just kind of gets sucked in with no edges around the limestone walls. And then it's framed really beautiful by that fireplace. And, you know, you got the wood pieces next to it. It just, this whole living space is stunning. You're going to be here all the time. And you're going to have that indoor-outdoor flow each side. Unbelievable.
I always love kind of black mixed with wood, and then they have these splashes of white, which I guess you said is limestone.
Okay, I think Mikey's right, but he said it the other way around. The main elements is natural wood and white, you know, features like the limestone walls or the limestone floors, and then the dash, you know, that pop of color is the black window frames.
Then you have this live edge walnut dining table right in the center.
Okay, do you remember that formal dining room area? That just totally lost out. I mean, that formal dining area will never get used because your actual living dining room, it's a 14-seater humongous dining room with amazing setbacks, and then you got views from everywhere. So if I was going to critique that formal dining room, I would just take it out. There's no way you could compete with this. I think what would have been amazing over there, you could have done a library or an amazing bar for adults when the kids sleep away from the bedrooms. They could come and entertain. You could have drinks, play music, and that formal living space would actually get used as well.
We have a massive island up front, Taj Mahal quartzite countertops.
Okay, out of all the courts out there, I really like the Taj Mahal quartzite. It's beautiful. It's very natural looking. It blends in. It goes with a lot of designs. But again, when you're going for that $34-35 million, you could have used a little bit more bespoke actual marble to kind of give it a little bit more character, but they just didn't do that over here.
Bar seating on this side with LED lighting.
You see what I'm saying? Bar seating, you have what, like 7 chairs to sit there? That formal dining room is never going to get used.
This is super cool. This is a pop-up drawer that hides the mixer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it hides it in the island bay. And it's just a nice, clever detail.
It's like a high-end Jack-in-a-Box. It just pops out. It's cool.
Now, this is interesting. La Cornue rotisserie.
This one is from Boston Market, you know? I'm not a big fan of putting these like heavy-duty equipments in the show kitchen. It smells everything just coming in, like, you know, while you're watching TV and the chickens are just circling around. It's just not really appetizing to me. I think it should be in the back kitchen.
It's an interesting take on a built-in appliance. Now, before we continue, I actually forgot to mention.
Okay, do you know what made that kitchen? Because I can tell you it was not the Taj Mahal counters. The cabinets were nothing crazy significant. I'll give you guys 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. The main element that made that room was that limestone, Texas limestone. I've heard people refer to it as the Jerusalem limestone as well. That's what framed the whole experience. That whole natural texture, the rough finish, is the one that sets the tone and really carried that whole kitchen. And because they went with that, they kind of didn't go all out on a lot of kitchen countertops, the cabinets, and all that stuff, because they didn't have to.
And we have a butler's pantry here, conveniently located close to the formal dining room. Same cabinetry, you have another sink here.
Yeah, see, this would have been a much more appropriate, you know, place for the rotary. But you see, like, none of the cabinets, fixtures, none of them are crazy. I mean, you could have these in your own house, right? So it's really about how you set the tone. And I think doing that rough limestone really gave the vibe.
And now, let's check out the backyard.
Yeah.
First, we have this cover section here, another steel cantilever above us. And look at this space. I mean,
wow. Look at this front yard, backyard, right? I love the trees. I love the landscaping. And pay attention to how much they actually hedged it, because it's actually on the street, right? They're trying to create that privacy. So you got really tall hedge.
This neighborhood or this area used to be a tree farm. They were raising trees here. And then later on, it was developed as a subdivision.
I speak for the trees. What's that cartoon?
I speak for the trees. Let them grow.
Then we have the outdoor seating area, dining area, kitchen on the back. The contraption that's above us is a motorized canopy.
Okay, you see what I'm saying? Outdoor dining, you really don't need that formal dining room. And what's beautiful about this is that also this whole repositioning, you give it a private driveway, it also gives you this access point. You open this gate up, you can have an event at your backyard without anyone going into your property, and there's bathrooms in that nook over there.
Now let's go to the other side. Again, you have your outdoor seating area with a built-in fire pit. And now I want to cover the kitchen.
Okay, let's talk about the palette outside. I'm a little bit disappointed with the use of gray quartz on the counters. I think they could have brought that natural wood over here, but it just really looks gray on gray on gray. To me, it's a kind of a, small miss.
And my favorite detail in this outdoor kitchen is the pizza oven. Now you may say, I don't even know how to open it. There you go. Now you may say, why you're so excited for pizza oven? Well, I like the way they incorporated into this concrete column.
Dude, the whole neighborhood would know if you're making pizza. This is pretty damn crazy chimney for a pizza. Yeah, it looks really cool.
Now, we have the recreation room in front of us. Sliding glass doors open up. Then a really nice bar. Countertop here is actually really unique. It's like mosaic tiles combined together with a clear finish on top.
Okay, I wouldn't have gone for this, but the reason it didn't fail is because they went with a really small amount of it, right? They didn't make it a dominant feature.
You come over here, another exterior door, powder bathroom for the recreation room.
This is really important. You really need a powder bathroom, maybe two, if you really want to use the outdoor backyard and not have people go through your house.
Let's come over here. Let's see. Pocket doors to seal off the screening room, comfortable seating section.
Okay, this is another example of how people are really stopping building these, basement movie theaters because they just don't get used. I've seen more and more and more where you're seeing really high-end houses like 20, 30, $40 million homes where the movie theater is an extension of the living room. In this case, it's an extension of the recreational center outside, which could cause a little bit of annoyance because, now you have to leave the house to come over here. But I guess great for, Sunday football games and, sports and everything. If you're already hanging out here, fantastic place to watch sports.
All right, Mikey, back to the backyard. What a perfect place for us to look back to the home. Again, architectural lines, these steel screens.
Okay, let's talk about the steel screens. I really like them to keep the energy in. One of my hesitations with a house like this, when it's completely open on both sides, especially at nighttime, it really gives me this vibe. Again, it's a personal thing that the energy is escaping. I think there's something innately in our human brain that at least at nighttime, you want to be covered with three walls, one opening. Again, I think it's brilliantly executed. They foresaw that someone like me might feel that way. And they were like, you know what? Maybe someone would want to keep the energy in.
Now let's go back in so we can go to the other side. Again, we're in the great room. And behind this limestone wall, we have the main staircase.
Look at this beautiful staircase. This is a prime example of when I say, don't make your staircase the centerpiece, right? Especially when you don't have the room for it or you're trying to block the view, right? The wow factor of the property. Because staircases on their own could be beautiful. You can tuck it in somewhere, create that connectivity at the right place and have it, architectural elements this beautiful. And this is a very irregular staircase. I don't know about safety because, when you go on a staircase, your brain kind of adjusts. After the first, second, third step, your brain kind of figures out the distance and goes in automatic mode. But because this is irregular, it could be dangerous a little bit, not so safe for kids. But one of the most beautiful wood, clad, I think it's a steel staircase that I've ever seen.
Now we're going to the primary bedroom wing. We have a bathroom on my left-hand side.
Whoa, this is intense. All mammals.
And coming back to the hallway, we go straight into the office.
You know, this is the, very shallow U part of the property, right? That is sticking out from the backyard.
And on this side, we have this built-in wall with all these shelves, and they even have a cuckoo clock, since it's a tree house.
I feel like I've never actually seen a cuckoo clock in person. I feel like I just see these in like cartoons growing up.
Are you serious? That's it? Little tutti frutti fruzzelli coming out? Dude, you had freaking half of the animals from Botswana in the powder room. I was expecting an ostrich. What the hell is this?
And then you come over to this side where we have another hallway that leads you to the primary closet. Now this closet is obviously very spacious. On my right hand side, we have a massive picture window.
Oh my God. I might just buy this one myself. Yeah, I'm kidding, but this is beautiful. Look at this Zen garden. What an astonishing, amazing introduction to the, primary suite. Really, really cool.
This is the landing of the primary bedroom suite. So this entry point is actually behind the staircase. We use the one that's in front of it, so you can actually enter the primary bedroom wing from both sides.
I really like the fact that it has a foyer, right? First of all, it's on the ground level. That really opens up the demographic to the most wealthiest people in America. But it alienates families. The reason for that is that there's no other bedrooms here.
This is where we have the first vanity. It's floating with LED lighting underneath. I really like the mirror design here.
Okay, to me, we are kind of going Hilton Hotel, whatever, like the high-end Hilton. The finishes are kind of showing themselves that are maybe a little bit aged, a little bit older. I'm getting hotel vibes. I'm not getting like bespoke home vibes here.
On the back, obviously, we have fantastic views.
Did you see that? Again, the way they've positioned the primary suite is to capture some of the best views of the property while being on the lower floor.
All right, let's go to the other side. Massive walk-in shower.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like that stone marble, it doesn't really go with that Japanese vibe that we saw outside and in the area, right?
And now I want to take everybody back to the landing so we can check out the primary bedroom. Now this bedroom, the way it's designed, is super cool. It starts here. And before we check out the bedroom, can we talk about the Japanese Zen garden?
What a beautiful thing. I would have liked to have a sauna here too. That's another thing I think they missed on their primary suite.
Then beyond that, you can actually see the gravel landscape, this beautiful tree. That's a Japanese soaking tub.
Now, do you remember the motor cord? I totally missed this. Like, you always got to think, how could it be better? Some people think I'm too negative for some reason. I actually never think what's wrong with this frame. I always think, how would it be better? I think one of the elements that on the motor cord that really could have doubled down that vibe and energy was, instead of using concrete, using very fine pea gravel would have really set the tone.
Other set of sliding glass doors open up to the grounds and the oval garden that's down below, and the primary bedroom suite even has its own garden right here.
Look at this. Again, I don't think it's the best comfortable chairs over there. I think they could have done better, but the landscaping on this property is spot on. Whoever who did the landscaping, just a fantastic job.
It gets crazier. They have another small patio. This is their dog park and dog training area.
This is brilliant. You'd be surprised that some of the smallest features really anchors that decision of buying this house over that house. A lot of times it comes down to really silly things that subconscious people are just like, I really just wanted that element of that house. Everything was so similar and great. But if I had to choose, I would go over the one with the dog park, because the dogs could come right over to our bedroom when we wake up, and we love that.
This is the private entry for the guest house. And going this way, we have the main space. Owners are currently using this room as their gym. You can see the yoga mat.
Okay. The guest house really got the shaft. This is horrible. This is really not a guest house. And I think the owners figured that out. In the design phase, they thought it's really good. But when it came to fruitation, they felt guilty about putting their guests in there. They're like, That's really bad compared to the rest of the house. So then they try to give it utility, right, by making it a gym.
You still get windows bringing natural light. We're actually right underneath the cantilevered living room that we toured earlier. And this room is very spacious. They have a small table here, a few chairs. There's a Murphy bed here. This converts into a proper guest home. They also have the wine cellar on this level. Same Texas limestone that we've been seeing throughout.
Yeah, this 100% was an afterthought, because imagine your guests sleeping over and, you know, it's dinner time and you go to your guests, you know, I have to ask you something. I want you to go to your room and then go to the wine cellar and bring me a, you know, 2021 cab. It's just not going to happen, you know? Like, you're not going to go to your guest suite to grab a bottle and come up.
Now, let's go to the second floor and check out the remaining bedrooms. We talked about the staircase earlier, skylight above, and coming to this side, we have a library.
Cool use of space. Again, it's all about surprises. I think this library is beautiful, and the fact that it opens up to balcony on the upper level, it's really cool. I think it would actually get used.
Now, I want to bring everybody to the main hallway on the second floor. You can actually see your backyard from here.
Okay, pay attention to this hallway. Now, typically, this would be a waste of space, and it is in this case a waste of space, but I guess the silver lining is that you've had amazing views on both sides, right? And because the rooms don't connect to each other in a natural way, you just got this rectangular way, you can kind of argue that your hallway kind of sets the mood, right? The fact that it's actually faces on this side so you can see your beautiful backyard, it's a kind of a passage of, you know, tranquil Zen environment that you go through, and you're not really sacrificing anything because all your other bedrooms are getting, you know, on this side are getting the ocean view. So again, I think they've done a really good job as far as mitigating the damages, right?
Now, we're going to continue our tour with the first bedroom on this level. On my left, we can see the full bathroom.
Okay, they really cheaped out here. Come on. You can't do that. The finishes really dropped. They really dropped.
Now, the next two bedrooms that we're going to see are kind of similar, so I'm going to quickly brush over them. King size bed, built-in cabinetry.
Okay, no walk-in closet.
Wood paneling on the ceiling continues to the exterior. Now, we're going to take an interesting route. We're going to start our tour of the second bedroom here. Another king size bed, pretty much the same design elements. Comes with a full bathroom, which is on this side. Even though design elements of this bathroom is exactly the same as the other one, they changed the pattern here. These oversized subway tiles are installed vertically.
Are you serious? We should be grateful for that. What a crazy element. They really went all out on this one.
Let's continue. Now back to the main hallway. This is actually where we can see the curved roof line around the main oak tree.
Did you guys see those ropes connecting holding the tree together? That tells me this beautiful tree might be towards the end of its life. And if this tree dies, it's going to take a really long time for another tree of this magnificent to be grown here, even if you buy a mature tree, right? That's just a little sad.
At the end of this hallway, we have a door that opens up to the second office.
This is really cool. Again, so you have two living rooms, really. You have that tiny little, library by the main staircase. And this is your other upstairs living room where you could hang out in. Very cool. Again, the fact that they've given utility to this really long building, right? The main living space. It's really cool.
Now, we're in the third bedroom. This is the walk-in closet. Another full bathroom here. This one actually comes with a built-in tub.
I thought he's going to say, like, they went, put the subway tiles at a 45 degrees angle.
Now, Mikey, let's take everybody out again one more time. And let's check out this balcony. Again, we're here in La Jolla, California. Weather is amazing. Views are fantastic.
Okay, did you notice the last flaw? It's a west-facing property. Ideally, in the northern hemisphere, you want to be south-facing where you're going to get a lot of natural light. But the design has really incorporated so many windows and so many openings for natural light to come in. The only annoying part is really when the sun is yet to set and the sun is coming directly into the house, right? It could get a little bit annoying. But if you want to see a modern house that is executed extremely poorly, watch this video and tell me in the comments how you would have positioned this house on the lot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.